Determine the volume of each right rectangular prism. So to find the volume of a prism, we use the base area times the height. So we're going to find the area of the base here, which would be a length times a width. So we have 3.5, which can be rewritten as 7/2, times 4, which would give us 28/2. So our base area, 28/2, is 14. So base area times height, the height of the whole prism is 10. 14 times 10 is 140. So our volume is 140 centimeters cubed. Remember, volume is that three-dimensional space that's filled in inside of a solid. Complete problem 1, as well as 3 and 4. The following solid has 13 cubes. Find the surface area of the solid when the edge length of one cube is 1 unit. Well, if the length of one cube is 1 unit, then the area of each of these squares would be 1 times 1, which is 1 unit squared. We're finding the surface area. Well, if we look at it from the top view, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from the top. So that is 9 units squared. If we were to look at it from the bottom, it's a 3 by 3, so there's also 9 on the bottom. From the left perspective, looking at the left side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming from the right side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From the front, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so then from the back, we would also have 5. But there's also some pieces that are kind of tucked away in the inner section. There's 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on the inside. So if we find the total surface area, we would add up all of these. This would be 18, 28, 38, 46. Find the surface area of the solid when the edge length of one cube is a half of a unit. So if it was a half by a half, the area of each of those would be 1/4. So we know from the previous problem that the surface area was 46 if it was a 1. But now instead of using an area of 1, we have an area of 1/4 for each of those squares. So that would be 46/4. 4 fits into 46 11 times. That would be 44. So to get from 44 to 46, we would need 2 additional parts. And that can be reduced to 11.5 units squared. If we look at this diagram here, you can see that if the side length was 1, and now we split it into halves. There's 4 pieces in there, so the area of each of those is 1/4, which is where that 1/4 came from for part B. In C, it says, well, what if it was a 1/4? So you can see that they've split the side length to be in 4ths. Well, the area, there's 16 of them that fit into that square. So the area of each of these squares now, which is a 1/4 by a 1/4, is going to be 1/16. So we still have 46 squares on the surface, but the area of each square is now 1/16. Well, 16 fits into 46 2 times. That gives us 32. So then the difference between 46 and 32, that's 14. So 2 and 14/16. I can simplify that by reducing it by a factor of 2. 2 fits into 14 7 times, and 2 fits into 16 8 times. So 2 and 7/8 units squared. Find the surface area of the following solid. It is composed of 2 right rectangular prisms. So we have different perspectives, the top view, the bottom view, left and right sides, and then the front and the back. The top, if we look at the top, we have this top section and then this top section as well. If we combine these 2 top sections, it makes a complete rectangle. Well, the dimensions here, this side is 4, and then this direction is 5. So when we pull this down to make a complete rectangle, this whole side length is a 4 and a 6 combined, which is 10. And this whole side length is a 5 and a 5 combined, which is also 10. For an area of 100 square meters. The bottom is that same size rectangle, so it is also 100. The left side is made up of a rectangle on the bottom piece and a rectangle on the upper piece. Well, the bottom piece is 10 all the way across, and it is 3 tall. It also has the upper rectangle, which is 5, so 5 across and 5 tall. 10 times 3 is 30. 5 times 5 is 25. So 30 plus 25 is 55. The right side also has this 5 by 5 rectangle and this 3 by 10 rectangle, so it is also 55. From the front, we have a 3 by 10. And then we also have a 4 by 5. 10 times 3 is 30. 4 times 5 is 20. 30 plus 20 is 50. And then from the back, we have that same 4 by 5 rectangle, and then a same 3 by 10 rectangle. So to find the whole surface area, we will add all those up. 50 and 50 make 100, 155, 210, 310, 410. An area is in meters squared. Find the surface area of the solid. It's composed of a right triangular prism and a right rectangular prism. Let's organize our thoughts. So from the front, I see a rectangular piece, which is 4 by 6, and a triangular piece, which has a base of 6 and a height of 4. But it's a triangle, so I have to divide it by 2. Four times 6 is 24. 6 times 4 is 24, divided by 2 is 12. 12 plus 24 is 36. The back also uses that square and that same triangle, so it is also 36. Then from the left side, we have a rectangle here that is 4 by 12. And a rectangle piece here that is 6 by 5. Four times 12 is 48. 6 times 5 is 30. If we add those together, 48 plus 30 is 78. The right side also has a 4 by 12 and a 5 by 6 rectangle. From the top, I have a rectangle piece here. It is 6 wide. This distance was 6 and the whole distance was 12. So what's left over will be right here. 12 minus 6 is 6. So this is a 6 by 6 rectangle, which is 36. But the bottom has a 6 by 12 piece. That is 72. Now to get the surface area, we are adding together 36, 36, 78, 78, 36, and 72. And that comes out to 336. And then the units are feet. It's an area, so feet squared. To find the surface area of this one, we have the 4 triangles on the top. Then we have 4 rectangles around the middle and a rectangle on the bottom. It is a 16 by 16. So all 4 of those triangles are going to be identical. So it has a base of 16, a height of 6, and it's a triangle, so we divide it by 2. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to times that by 4 for all of the triangles. 16 times 6 is 96. Divide that by 2 is 48 for each triangle. And then times it by 4 is 192 for all 4 triangles. In an earlier lesson, I believe it was lesson 18, we learned about lateral area, which is the area around the center of a prism, or the middle section of a prism. And the way that we found lateral area was we found the perimeter of the base and multiplied by the height. So the perimeter of the base is going to be 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16, or you can just do 16 times 4, and that's 64. And then the height of the prism is 20. So 64 times 20 is 1,280. And then all we have left is the base itself. And the bottom is a square that is 16 by 16. 16 times 16 is 256. So you can think of it as the triangles are the top, the lateral area is the middle, and then the bottom is the base. So the total surface area would be 192 plus 1,280 plus 256. When you add all those together, you should get 1,728 inches squared. Find the area of this prism. Again, I like to just jot down all of the pieces that I'm going to need to help organize my thoughts. For the top, if I had a full rectangle on the top, I would have an 8 by 9. But I am missing a section that is 3 wide and 4 long. The bottom is the exact same shape. So 8 times 9 is 72, and 3 times 4 is 12. So if we subtract those, that gives us an area for the top and bottom that is 60. From the left side, I have a 2 by 8 rectangle, which is 16. From the right side, I also have a 2 by 8 rectangle. For the front, I have this piece and this piece. And if I scoot this part up from the front, oops, I have a full rectangle that is 2 tall and 9 across, which is 18. And then the back is the same size. It's 9 by 2 as well. Now I already counted this, but I also have these sections here, and then the one that's facing this direction for the inside. That is 4 wide and 2 tall. And there are another one for 2 total. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 8 is 16. So the total surface area will be 60 plus 60 plus 16 plus 16 plus 18 plus 18 plus 16. And when I add all those together, I came up with 204 feet squared. That's the end of lesson 21. Make sure you have all of the steps written out for the problems to make sure that you have an example of how we arrived at those answers.